Good day to all beautiful ladies in South Africa. Greeting you from the chat room at Frida Phyllis this day. Very happy that we are back. We are in the month of August, where we will celebrate all the beautiful women. May this month be a blessed month to every single one of you out there. With me in the chat room, I have a fellow sister that I want to introduce to you. Will you be so kind to just introduce yourself? Thank you.
Good day, all our viewers out there. My name is Cathleen Mulligan. I'm currently from Johannesburg, moving to Potchefstroom, where I attend school, where I met Johannes Mulligan in 1989, whereby 1990 we got married, and out of that marriage 2 beautiful daughters were born.
Wow, this is the girl from Josie who met the love of her life in Potchefstroom in the Northwest, and we thank God for the grace of 2 daughters being born in this marriage. This day we will have a conversation with Kathy, as she is better known, about her journey of pain. If we go back, she will just share with us on that terrible day when her husband passed. What happened on that day, and when was this?
My husband passed on the 27th of December. The 25th we had a family dinner together. The 26th I went to work. 27th I went to work. Jolene called me. She said, "Mommy, you must come. They call him Papi. Papi needs you." And I asked her, "Jolene, what is wrong?" And then she said, "Mommy, don't ask me what is wrong. Just come. Papi needs you." And then, as I entered the house, just put my bag on the couch, I ran into the room, and there he was sitting. His eyes was big like marbles. Rushing out of the house. And I said to him, "I want to take you to the clinic." And then me and my Chilean fiance, took him in the one side and he on the other side, and then we went out of the room, and we walked, but he was so heavy. And I said to him, "Johannes, what is wrong? Why are you so heavy?" And he said, "No, I don't know, my wife." And then we went out of the room, and then as we get in the sitting room, he was sitting on a chair, looking at me, and I asked him, "Johannes, what is wrong?" And as he looked at me, he just jumped up from the chair, and then he went to stand in the door, and then he said to Jillian, "Papi cannot see." And Jillian said, "Why?" He said, "I don't know." We went to the car. But before we could enter the car, he was standing at the car, and he was turning around, and he said to Jillian, "Papi cannot see." And I thought for myself, there's now big trouble. And he was just falling on the grass. And Donovan was standing at the back of him, holding him. And then I asked Donovan, "What is wrong? What is wrong now?" But I know, all along he knew that my husband passed on, because he was just looking at me like this, and he was just shaking his head. And
if I understand you correctly, it means that even before he get into the car, he passed on.
Yes.
Falling on the grass, yes, on his way to the car.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And he just collapsed on the grass.
viewers, when we listen to the testimony of our sister, what a terrible thing that happened shortly in a time of celebration, as we know that it was in the festive season, and 2 days back there was a beautiful family lunch, and 2 days forward, we sit with a situation where the husband passed on. What did you feel at that time?
Wow. I think that was the most painful time in my life.
Were both of your children present?
Yes, both of them were present. And as he was lying there on the grass, Jolene ran to him and she grabbed him and she screamed, "Puppy, puppy." And I was standing there and a guy came to me and he grabbed me and he hugged me and I passed out. And other guy came and then I believe they say if you pass out, they took a cigarette, they light a cigarette and they blew the smoke in my nostrils, and then I started to came back again. He was lying there and then they called the ambulance. The ambulance came and he took his to feel if he's alive or what. And I was asking the ambulance guy, I said to him, why you bring the stretcher without the machines that shock him, that can bring him back to life? And the guy said to me, he's already gone. There's no need for us to bring that shocks back.
When I listened to Kathy speaking, I know there are many of you who are listening to this broadcast, and many of you also know the pain of experiencing of losing a loved one, a husband, and I believe it's not an easy thing to go through. We are listening to how Kathy is unfolding how her life was impacted and how it turned around after she lost her husband. And if we can move a little forward, what did you tell your children? How did you explain the absence of your husband?
Before my husband passed on, he had a hip operation, and he was in a hospital for 3 days. And I can clearly remember Jillian said, "Wow, my papi moet nou huis toe kom. Die huis is baie stil." And then I believe in life there is a preparation.
God preparing us for whatever event that's coming.
Yes, He
that's
prepares
so
us.
true.
I believe there He prepares us. This is how this household is going to be when your husband is no more there. And I can clearly remember that Sunday when we go to the hospital, when we go and visit him, as she was entering the ward, she said, "Oh, nee, jy moet nou huis toe kom." And I was like, wow, she really missed him. And my husband drank, but there was discipline in his house. That was one thing for sure. There was discipline, because his no was no, and his yes was yes. I can so clearly remember if one of my kids would ask something, especially if they ask him and he say no, and they came to me and say, "Ah, mommy." If I go to him and I say, "My vrouw?" No. My
His
no
yes
is no.
was yes and his no.
His no was no,
Was
and
no.
his yes was yes. And it was really a bad time when I lost my husband.
If you need to motivate a woman out there who also lost a husband, what carried you? How do you go through those time of mourning?
Jillian she was the one who carried me. She was the one who, if my heart was sore, and remember, when your husband, when you lost a loved one, all the first things, the birthday, the Mother's Day, the Father's Day, the anniversary, all those first things, you must go through it. And she was the one who carried me through it. I can remember one Sunday when I came from church, my eyes was full of tears when I entered the door and I see she was sitting there. And when I entered and she said, "Oh, mommy, man, everything will be all right." But most of all, the Lord carried me through. Because I said to myself, if God is for me, who can be against me? He is the one. He will never give you something that he knows that you cannot carry. And I believe sometimes in life, the Lord let things happen in your life to see how is your fight and how will you handle it. And never ever in my life did I ask the Lord questions. Why you did it to me? Why? Yes, it was heartbroken, because the hardest thing for me was when I'm in town and I see a husband and a wife walking. That was the hardest thing ever.
It's okay. And through it all, God kept
I learned
you.
to trust in Jesus. Through it all, I learned to trust in Jesus.
Sometimes, as Christians, we don't want suffering, or we don't accept suffering and pain. But I believe that is a testing ground where our relationship with God is built and strengthened. It's really emotional sitting here and listening to the testimony of Kathy. And when she thought that life is getting better, and as we are proclaiming that time heal wounds, another sad thing struck her. A year after she lost her husband, she lost the very daughter that she said was a rock, was a strength, and whom she relied on so much. What happened to Jillian?
Jillian, you've been sick for 7 years.
So even before your husband passed,
she was sick, but it was not that bad. She went to school.
we are speaking now about a strong daughter of yours who was sick, but yet in your time of pain, she was your anchor.
Yes, she was.
That's so beautiful.
She was. And by that time she was in grade 9 when she started with the sickness. There were times that I had to wash her. to prepare her for school. And it was really bad. It was really bad. But through that pain and through that sickness, she went to school. She was in grade 10 by that time. Because of her age, that year she failed, and so she had to go to a college where the age is the right age to be in college. And then she went to Vusilela. She went to Vusilela and she attended, it was the second year, then a sickness started to get worse. Meaning, by that time, she was admitted in hospital, you can say every 3rd month. Then I had to go to hospital with her. I can remember the last time when she was admitted in hospital, the doctors do a lot of tests to find out why is she admitted so on a regular basis in hospital. And then they found out that the medication that she was on was too strong for her.
Sure.
And that medication, it broke her immune system, meaning every sickness that passed her, she got it like flu, every sickness. And so they started to take a lot of tests and give her blood. I can remember several times they put blood in her because the red blood cells, the white blood cells were eaten from the red blood cells. So there was no blood cells in her. I can remember on one occasionally Sunday when we entered there, then she had the white blood cells that they also put a drip on for her. And then
May I just interrupt there? What age was she at that point of time?
By that time she was 23 years old. She was 23, and then they arranged for her to go to Paraguana. And then it was a Thursday, we went to Paraguana, and she was lying there on the stretcher. There was no bed for her. I was actually very upset because I said, why didn't the doctor arrange a bed for her? So that if we arrive there, they should admit her. But there was no bed for her, so she had to sleep on a stretcher the Thursday night. And the Friday, there were 4 doctors around her. And the one say, no, we're going to do this. The other one say, no, let's start with this. And the other one say, no, let's do this first, and then we will do this. And I was standing there. I said to myself, wow, she's now in good hands.
Let me ask, while this health deteriorates and this process and doctors and hospital what did she say? What was her words in that time? How did she react or respond on this illness?
She was very calm. She was very calm. She would lie there, just look at me. She was really very, very, very calm. It was like she doesn't want to upset me to see me like this. That's why she was very calm.
I salute Jillian today in her absence. We know that many people, when they are sick, they are very difficult and they are impatient, and it speaks a lot about you, because even yourself, you are a calm person. And I am listening to you, and I also have a better understanding about your character, because in the community you are a helper, a mother to many, assisting frequently. And when I listen to your journey of pain, I see how you grow to this passionate, beautiful woman that constantly want to nurse others. And for the community of Promosa, you are this Mother Teresa figure. And it's so beautiful to hear that your daughter had the same characteristics than yourself, even in a time of testing and difficulty. Thank you. You may proceed.
Jillian was also very fond of Caradon. I can remember one evening when we arrived in the ward, Caradon goes stand next to her and she started to tease her, because that's what sisters are doing. Jillian, she was a maid of honor for one of her friends' wedding as well, before she went to hospital also.
This is now the hospital in Baragwana.
Yes. I can clearly remember Ingrid said to her, Ahmed Jalaman, why don't you leave? Why don't you ask somebody else to take your place over? Because you are sitting. And Jillian said, no man, anti-men. Maybe this is my last. And we didn't
take it to heart at that point of time.
At that point of time. And it was really the last. It was really the last. And then I remember that day when Caradon, because then she had the eyelashes on, and Caradon said, you must take off these things. And then she said, no, she was like that.
Calm personality.
Calm personality.
The day she passed on, were you present?
No, I was not present. We went to the hospital the Saturday morning. As we were entered the ward, she was lying on the bed, but she was very calm, and then as we were standing around the bed, the doctor came, and then he said, Mommy, can you please excuse us? We just want to make a lumbar punch on Jillian. And I was so upset. I was so upset because I was thinking, this weak body, a lumbar punch. And my sister said, come sis, come, let us go out. Let us give the doctor space to do his work. And then we left. We did a lumbar punch, and then we were sitting outside. When it was done, he came and said, Mommy, we're done with the lumbar punch. But I must tell you, that lumbar punch, me personally, that lumbar punch killed my daughter. Because as we were standing around the bed, you could see she just wanted to get rid of us.
She asked you to leave.
Yeah, she asked us to leave. She just wanted to deal with the pain. And then we left. And then my sister said, tomorrow we will bring to you nice food, blah, blah, blah. And then we will see, we'll take it from there. And then the Sunday morning, the late Pastor Gary, he had a sermon about healing. It was so convenient that he had that healing service that morning. And I clearly remember I stepped out for her that day to represent her, to intercede for her that day. But I did not know. When we and Carradine, we arrived at home, my phone rang. Carradine picked it up and then she said, "Mommy, it's the hospital." But through the sickness of Jolene, the last sickness, death never occurred in my mind. Never, never, never. The fact that those doctors were standing around her and this one say that, and this one say that, and this one, it picked up my faith again, and that never
cross your mind.
Never crossed my mind. Never. I still believe that my daughter will be fine. But our life is not in our hands. And what happened, the Lord said, He said in His word, He knows the plans that He has for us. He knows the plans that He has for us. And then Jillian, then the lady, the sister, she asked me, how am I related to Jillian? And then I said to her, it's my daughter. And then she said, Mommy, I'm sorry, Jillian passed on.
She's no more.
She's no more with us. And yeah, I thought I never gonna make it.
Out there are women at this current moment as we are speaking who are going through pain, who lost hope, who don't know how they will face tomorrow, the next week to come, the next year. You went through two very deep, I don't even know how to put it in words to describe, because your husband, your spouse, your life partner, a year, the daughter you carried in your womb, and they are no more, and here you are. You need to pick up the pieces. What will you say to a woman that is broken out there? Where to start?
I think personally, if I did not know the Lord, I should have never made it. I want to say to all the women out there, stay focused. Jesus is our only hope. There is where our help comes from. And no matter what happened in your life, our God is faithful. He's faithful, He's full of compassion, and He's full of love. I want to say out to the woman there, actually to the man, the best gift that a man can give to his children is to love their mother.
Wow.
That's the best gift.
Wow.
Because if a mother is in a bad space, you could see in the children, in the interact of the children, if a mother is not in the right space. But if a mother is in a perfect space, you will see the children. So that's why I say, out there, stay focused, and remember, our God will carry you through.
Wow, that's so true. Indeed, He will carry us regardless of what we are facing in life, and we will continue to deeply love Him regardless. I thank you so much for joining us in the chat room at Frida Phyllis. What an honor to have you here with me today. To the women out there, in closing, I just want to say, when you are bleeding, whatever you are going through, go through your mourning process. It does not matter how long does it take. Don't rush your period of mourning. Remember, there are different stages. Take your time to mourn your beloved, your child, your husband, perhaps your parents, and go through that season. But the word of God says we will not cry like the hopeless.
Yes.
But in it all, we will remember that God is with us. Greetings from Potchefstroom, from the chat room. Thank you so much.